Okay, welcome back, boys and girls. It's clear that they've decided to mute our end again for this little bit through, so me and Ataraxia will join you one more time with more of this. Are you there, Ataraxia? You alive? You dead?
I am. I'm just eating a biscuit.
You eating biscuits?
Very British.
Eating biscuits. Tea and biscuits for me and Ataraxia as we sit around and wait for the next game to go as well. So, over on the channel, we're going to have the English version of the Smite Masters. If you're just tuning in for the first time today, you can see how this is all being played out by them here. I'm just going to bring this up on your screen for a second so you can see what we're looking at. Bear with me a second. I'm just going to bring up the brackets here for you. There you go. You can see the brackets of what's actually been going on with this today. There were so many teams that turned up for this, and it's actually the Copa Smite, the Latin American side of things. There was two teams that came from Latin America, Isurus Gaming and TCY. Across the way in the Brazil, there was 4 teams that turned up, and it's actually going to be one of those Latin American teams, Isurus versus INTZ, in the finale. And after the finale, they'll go to the grand final, one of these two teams, to face off against AFK from the LAN tournament that we took place recently in Atlanta, Georgia. And so we're just currently sitting around waiting patiently for this broadcast to continue with the next game. They take a little bit of a break between the two teams, so between the games, so players get plenty of time to like shake off the cobwebs. I mean, honestly, if you are Isurus Gaming here, Ataraxia, do you want to be the team to take such a long break? I mean, that just it's gonna rub in the wounds, right? That you lost that game.
Yeah, I'd like to just get on with it. They should have by now had a time to really come up with a plan about what they're gonna do. But it looks like there's another 6-minute.
What?
Wait.
What?
Or 9 minutes.
What? What is this timer? Latin American Adonis, please.
Yeah, I think I would feel uncomfortable with the amount of time they've had now. I'm sure they're raring to go and really get back on the horse after that. So
they lied to us. We've now got no timer. It was 9 minutes, guys. So we'll find out when you find out, when we find out exactly how. Oh, we got a camera head. There's someone's head. Is that Half Devil? It looks like Half Devil from the top.
That could be Half Devil.
That could be Half Devil. I've seen that head before.
That'd be amazing. He'd be amazing at this casting, I think.
No, that's why I didn't want him. I had a choice, and I was like, no, not Half Devil. It'd be too much. Be too much.
Oh, the head's gone. So what's more professional? Is it me eating a biscuit or this business?
Oh, definitely. This business is definitely more professional for sure. Well, we're just waiting for the next game to begin. It's in a best of 3. If INTZ takes this one, we will be waiting for the final. And if they don't take this one, then we'll probably have a small break again for the one after that one. So, we just get to sit here, me and Ataraxia. I'm going to put some music on for you guys. In the meantime, there's no point in us continuing talking until the game goes live. But you can see all the action that's going on as well, boys and girls. If you have any questions in chat, go ahead and ask. I'll try and answer them as we sat around waiting for this next game to begin. There's no point in me killing my voice too much, and poor Ataraxia has never done this before, so give him some love in chat as well. He's done a good job so far. Well, it looks like they're back on screen, so I guess we should bring our voices back up too. You can hear in the background the AMC skin there being used. Let's listen to APC. Let's see what he's got to say. That marvelous suit of his. He's gripping his mic differently now.
Do you think someone corrected him?
I think
yo, ABC, you're doing this wrong, man. You gotta match your mic quality holding skills has to match your suit wearing skills. Step it up, man.
Thank you, Fenrir. We needed to hear that.
Ever since then, every single team does that, and I think that's exactly why INTZ is really kind of taking that step forward, is because that experience.
Então, basicamente eu perguntei para ele que assim, ele já tem bastante experiência no servidor americano sobre qual a diferença que existe entre times que praticam e times que não praticam usando uma game house. Então, o que ele me respondeu foi assim, ó, vou te dar o exemplo perfeito. Nosso primeiro evento de LAN, que foi o kick-off, o evento de lançamento, quem ganhou foi o time Solomon.
Is APC speaking Brazilian? Yes, I Smite 3. He is speaking Brazilian. If you can actually understand what APC says, you are understanding Brazilian.
Fluent in Brazilian.
You are fluent in Brazilian. Also known as Portuguese or Spanish.
E provavelmente é isso, é um dos
Probably
grandes
Portuguese,
diferenciais
I'm pretty sure.
que a INTZ tem. A INTZ que já é uma marca muito forte, é um nome muito forte aqui no cenário brasileiro. So, like, you think that having a gaming house is something that like motivate players of getting sponsorship?
It's more than motivating. It certainly is motivating, but it's also...
It is Portuguese. Apologies, guys. I wasn't sure because I'm pretty sure Latin America generally speaks Spanish, but Brazil do speak Portuguese. I didn't want to be rude and get it incorrect, so speaking Brazilian was the safest option.
So closely. So when you're with your friends, you're sleeping in the same house as them, you're eating the same thing as them.
The phone in the pocket? Who's got a phone in the pocket?
That's almost a break.
Oh, I see it.
Oh yeah, you
I
can
see it. Is that a wallet?
It's unstoppable.
It could be.
Oh, it
Yeah,
looks
it looks a bit square for a phone.
Looks like a wallet.
Teams to have a boot camp
He's got monies.
or a gaming house to attend before their big events.
Então assim, perguntei pra ele se a gaming house, ou bootcamp como eles chamam, se é algo que faz...
Oh, I've got loads of Portuguese people in chat upset with me now. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry. Is that his
The
wallet, or is he
puppies
just
all
pleased
over
to see
again.
me? Oh, the puppies incident was terrible too.
Entre
Oh.
os jogadores que a gente viu que
That
é
was
muito
hilarious.
Então assim, a gente vai conhecer um pouco mais sobre a vida.
I've never seen the best of intentions go so
Just so wrong.
so awry.
Yeah, that happens a lot with me generally. Wow.
Pessoal, aqui com vocês, Rogério Formiga, CEO.
The CEO of INTZ. Okay, cool.
A INTZ foi lançada inicialmente com time de League of Legends.
It's a League of Legends team? Who wants a League of Legends team? That game's crap.
No decorrer do
I mean,
nosso projeto,
yes.
nós
Yes.
na verdade, o
Good
projeto
call.
INTZ
Oh, we can still hear
se
game sounds in the background as usual.
E hoje, e nessa linha, hoje
AMC again.
9 lines
I'd like to see some
nove
AMC
lines
in the next
diferentes em
game.
sete
Maybe we will.
Toda uma
His buff next patch, I mean,
entra pra uma organização.
that seems very, very strong.
Eu acho
Oh, we'll see what it does for him.
Para a própria line, porque toda a equipe que tem uma organização por trás, ela tem um apoio diferenciado, existe toda uma logística, toda uma staff para ajudar a cuidar. Hoje nós possuímos duas game houses, temos um centro de treinamento que é justamente para times online, quando existe algum campeonato.
Two gaming houses, wow.
Vem para São Paulo.
Why don't you have a gaming house yet, Ataraxia?
I don't know, I'd quite like one. Maybe somewhere where it's a bit sunnier and doesn't rain all the time. Because then when I look out the window, I wouldn't go outside, that'd be crazy talk, but when you look out the window it's a bit nicer.
Yeah, so you can smile and be like, hey, it looks nice outside. I'm never
Yeah.
doing that.
De fazer a parceria com o time de Smite e Love time que já disputou o Mundial e ficou numa posição muito boa, ficou em quinto lugar no Mundial. E a gente hoje...
Can I mute Smite in-game sounds? No, I can't, Matt Consto. This is a live feed we're getting from Latin America right now, from the Brazil Masters, so it's not actually my client that's making sound, buddy. If it was, I'd surely turn it off for you. However, Latin American Adonis has decided otherwise. Hashtag blame Adonis.
Essa parceria com o Smite, com o Love vai ser uma parceria muito boa. Pode acreditar que nós vamos conseguir bons resultados para vocês. E além do nosso centro de treinamento, nós possuímos uma parceria com a Top Run Arena, que nos auxilia em bootcamp também.
Oh, they do boot camps as well. This is looking like a really dangerous team, actually.
Yeah, I mean, ones to watch. I think they're surely going to qualify for the SWC looking the way they are. And I think they could be an upset people aren't expecting.
That's a big shout.
I mean, they did quite well last year.
They did. I mean, they finished fifth, and they've pretty much kept the same roster together as well. So
Yeah, and that was with a support sub. I think they had at least one or two subs, possibly.
yeah,
I know the support wasn't there because they had to take someone else and they weren't particularly fond of him.
the old American visa issues. I know those well.
Isn't that guy on the left in Flash? Have you seen Flash? I'm not
Yeah.
familiar.
Oh yeah, yeah. He is the Flash. He's the assistant in Flash. He made the freeze gun.
Uh-huh.
He made the freeze gun. Oh, Q3Q looks so cute compared to the other. Like he's such a youngster compared to the others.
Yeah.
Diferencial muito legal, assim, você vê que os meninos eles estão jogando assim com o negócio que eu gostei muito que eles falaram é eles precisam se preocupar em jogar, eles precisam se preocupar
This
em fazer o
is
que ele
past
ama.
the
Então,
half
assim,
an hour
a
break between
organização
games, right?
ajuda muito nisso.
It appears so. It appears so. We're
That's
gonna
rough.
So, like, they can
long
do
breaks.
exactly what they love, which is like play.
I mean, would you take a power nap? I think Pretty Prime would fall asleep if we did this to you.
Right?
I think, yeah, probably.
Pretty Prime would be asleep by now.
Where you can't let dad
Or at the bar. That's it. I mean, when he disappeared from the group, he was either getting a drink or falling asleep.
Ah.
behind this organization. They're not in it for
Somebody in chat wants to know who your 2 shout-outs were, by the way. You can let us know?
Oh, yeah. Well, before that, the story was that someone actually kicked me.
I heard.
Mid-interview. It was very disjointed. The other one, so the first one was to the Titan organization. The second one was to the Titan team for being amazing and carrying me. And then the third one, which is the most important, and I was actually quite upset that I didn't get to say this, was to the fans, because without the people who watch these sports, regardless of whether you're...
I'm gonna cut you off now. It's boring. It's boring. Boring. Not interested. That's
I
why we
know
cut you
it's
off.
cheesy and it's boring.
Who
but I
cares
mean it
about the
because
fans?
I can't, you know, I wouldn't be able to do this. This is the dream, and you guys make it possible.
You get me emotional. Please stop. Well, we lose the audio again, but we do get to hear the game sounds in the background, so it's just like us queuing for our rank games.
Some would say that's more important.
Waiting patiently to hear it. Just gonna lower that down a little bit more. We don't need to hear it as much now, please. Do you even chats like, oh, Ataraxia the fans, ooh.
They can do what they want with my thanks, but I'm still gonna say it.
So if you are just tuning in, we're waiting for Game 2 between INTZ and Isurus Gaming to take place. Game 1 went to INTZ after INTZ were really in trouble. Winner of this gets to face off against AFK Gaming later on today in a best of 5. And we're just waiting for the second game to begin. And hooray! Talking about second game, QE3Q fell asleep and he's just yawning himself awake there on the left-hand side. He's back. And they get themselves ready for picks and bans one more time.
That was a mighty yawn, one that might rival on her. Because he's a lion and
Just
a yawn.
stop. Just stop.
Yeah?
Just stop.
No? Alright.
Just stop. Don't do that. It's like casting with Dry Bear all over again. Shouts to Dry Bear. I miss Dry Bear.
Everyone misses Driver.
I miss my Dry Bear.
He seems happy making the most overpowered gods ever though, so...
That's his game plan.
They are really fun though. I mean, balance aside, they are, like, seriously, the best gods I've seen.
Fun gods are fun gods. So, again, this is really about QV3Q, joking around, obviously. Waiting for this game to begin. Between the two teams, I'm expecting, I believe it was INTZ was blue side last time, yep, so we'll probably see them be Chaos side, which means we'll probably see Isurus Gaming get first pick this time around more than likely. I mean, what's better than the meta autocracy? Why do you pick first or second pick at the moment? What's the difference?
Well, there's two reasons. There's, you can have for the draft, so depending on how the meta's faring, you can go for second or first based on how you want to draft. But most teams are, they subscribe to the Chaos side because despite hi-rez's efforts to balance the map and make it even, it is still not even, and the mid laner on the Chaos side gets there substantially quicker than the Order side every time.
There is ways
so
around
most
that,
people
though.
do that because it gives you pressure in mid guaranteed.
There is ways around that, though.
There are.
You guys just haven't really worked them out yet.
True, but the distance between the buffs is not the same.
That's
and
true.
It upsets people.
That's true. It's always going to be upset. Nothing's ever going to be perfect with you guys.
Exactly.
Eh? Because one roller will not be happy. Solo laners get bored, and then after the solos get bored, it'll be the mid laners get bored. But here we go. Picks and bans. Isurus Gaming will be first pick, first ban this time round. INTZ are going to be the Chaos side, and they will be second. But let's see exactly what we're going to see banned. We saw Neith ban last time, and 2 Guardians get banned out by Isurus Gaming. There's the Ymir ban again. They banned Athena as well last time.
They did. I'm sure that Ymir is for none. I think they're very scared of it. I think it's his favourite pick, so sticking to their guns on that one.
Well, Athena banned out as well. Saket and a Wheelix banned away, and that leaves Isurus Gaming.
It's going to be a Neith.
Neith, you reckon? Yeah.
I'd like to see it. I'd like to see a solo. I think she does have a very good time with solo. She has the freedom to snipe wherever she wants, and she kind of wins or stalemates every single lane in the game.
Well, we're going to see Neith picked up, like you said, but Xbalanque Gab get locks in for INTZ. So they've basically set up their duo lane straight away. They're like, we're just going to play safe in duo and farm.
I would be worried about this one because Xbalanque with Gab is not the highest to push. They've already got the Neith, and Sylvanus is open. So putting Xbalanque in that position where he's going to get, he's going to live in a tower, and he's not great at last hitting anyway. I'd be worried about his farm, but they seem confident in picking that, so we'll see how it goes.
Well, let's see what else they lock in here. You can hear the lock-ins even before they showed on our screen here with the picks and bans. And it is going to be Sylvanus and it is going to be Thor alongside him. So Thor going to be for the jungle this time round for Isurus Gaming. Isurus Gaming, like I said, they looked very, very strong last game. They did very unfortunate to not win that game. A couple of small mistakes towards the end gave INTZ the outlet to actually get themselves back into this one. And what's the next going to be for INTZ here? Would you look towards a juggler here yourself or would you look for mid?
I think maybe. Well, they've answered the question for me. The mid, yeah.
The mid.
I like this Isis pick. It's a very difficult kill for Thor to get because you can interrupt everything he does, and the second you know Thor's in the air, you pop down the Isis ult, and suddenly he's not going to get a kill anymore. So I like that pick. They have a very defensive comp, and it's going to be difficult for Thor to do what he wants to do in this game.
Well, let's see what's next up on the list then. The counterband will be coming through more than likely. It's going to be Guan taken away actually by INTZ there. That's going to be a shot at the solo lane. It has to be, right? I mean, they've already picked up Thor, so...
Maybe they're looking to pick up Bologna or something?
Well, respect ban again for Vamana here as well from Isurus Gaming, so they don't want to have to deal with INTZ's Vamana. It's going to be a Nemesis locked in more than likely for the jungle. As we can hear Thor slamming his hammer over and over again in the background. Good times.
Yeah, the Nemesis. They've got their trio for the mid camps. It's a very defensive one. I imagine that INTZ are going to be looking to split them as much as possible until they reach their power point. Because Nemesis, Isis, Gab, they really shouldn't kill anyone.
Okay, so little picks have just got in. You can see it's going to be Sobek picked up once again for that solo lane, and Medusa alongside it. Actually, hold up, is Neith going to be mid here? Do you expect then? It must be Neith mid.
Yeah, it looks like it's probably a Neith mid. I'm worried about the Sobek pick. I mean, he did amazing work, so I'm guessing he's feeling himself pretty confident he can do what he wants here. But he does, he's left himself open to a counter pick.
He has. And what's he going to?
Sobek is someone who can get bullied.
So who would you pick? Who would you pick? As a solo laner now, who would you pick?
I have no idea. This is where my inexperience
Well,
comes
here you
in.
go. Here you go.
I
We'll
know
teach you.
ADCs.
We'll teach you.
Guan, you can teach me, yeah.
Guan Yu is the pick here, Ataraxia, clearly. If INTZ wins this game, you have learnt yourself a matchup of how to deal with Sobek.
I quite like that because Sobek, the only way to interrupt him is going to be with his fling, which is his escape.
That's right.
Guan Yu should win the push between his heal and his 3.
Mm-hmm.
And most importantly, he's going to have a great time in teamfights because the only god who's really going to get away from him is Neith. Not Neith, sorry, Thor.
Thor,
with his ult. So everyone else he can really run down with his horse, which should put, an Nemesis ult and a Guan Yu ult, that's a dead person right there, because that Guan Yu ult hits so freaking hard.
Yeah, for anyone saying about what Atox is saying there about Sobek versus Guan Yu, the Tallow Assault, Guan Yu's 3, prevents you being knocked up, so Sobek can't tail whip and actually knock him up out of that. So he's going to be able to get the full damage off it, and it's going to force Sobek to actually pluck him to stop the damage from the Tallow Assault coming out for the most part, to actually make a difference there. So Guan can't be interrupted because of it, and that's why the matchup should be pretty strong, especially because of the healing too.
Yeah, Sobek's damage to kill the wave, it's not quite totaling the wave. He needs to use 2 skills at least, and then early on it's not enough, so the heal is really gonna put Sobek in that awkward spot where he almost kills the wave, but not quite, while Guan Yu's gonna spin and have his way with it.
So talk to me, these two compositions that we've got here, who are you favouring?
I would give it to INTZ. I'm not a fan of the Sobek here, I don't think it's gonna do that much work.
Okay.
But the double ADC, they're very strong right now, so
Opposite.
we'll see how it plays out. But I do think INTZ have got a very defensive comp, and I think Isurus are going to have a hard time getting ahead.
Well, there we go. Isurus Gaming will be side on the blue side. It's myself and Ataraxia bringing the action from this one of the Brazilian Masters right now. Build-wise, what's going to see Xbalanque picking up the Devourer's Gauntlets. As you stated earlier, it's to help him with the poke power pressure that he's probably going to get from laning, as well as against Medusa in lane as well. So that's generally where you see it a little bit more often than not. Other build-wise, there's nothing really too exciting going on. Just standard builds, really.
Yeah, I think Neith has a very good job in mid as well against most mages, except for Isis. Isis, she can match the clear. And most importantly, one, she's hard to hit when she's doing a Wingus, but she can't be rooted. She's immune to roots. So the poke Neith can do while clearing the wave is going to be mitigated quite substantially by that. So I like the Isis into the Neith. Maybe they figured they might run Neith mid and they picked that in accordance.
Or maybe if that isn't insight into it. Isis, once again, they're also going to do the back copies as well here. Now, the thing we're doing the back copy, I mean, it looks like we're going to see INTZ doing the same thing as well. Both teams doing back copies for the most part, apart from the jungler and the solo laner of Isis Gaming going to actually just trying to get there a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it seems maybe Isurus felt like the little lead that INTZ got from this last time was worth it, so they've incorporated it on the fly, or maybe a special amount of circumstances, like 2 ADCs, has allowed them to go for it. Well,
as you can see, guys, at the top of the screen, it's 1-0 to INTZ. It's a best of 3 this, so if INTZ win this game, they will move themselves onto the grand finale, to face off against AFK Gaming in a best of 5. Losers, well, they slip to the wayside and go home, and it's Thor Sobek in lane against Guan and Nemesis. I feel that's a kind of an even matchup there, really, between the two. Both of them struggling a little bit for wave clear.
Yeah, I mean, they're not really quick at clearing the waves, but none of them should really die either. So I think we'll see a very passive solo experience here.
Yeah, stale, boring little situation between the two. Left hand side, no surprise to see Sylvanus and Medusa pushing in Xbalanque and Geb. That's to be expected. You said that at the start that you thought Xbalanque was a little bit weak in terms of wave play.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a pretty hefty XP swing. Oh, there's some action here.
No, it's not action.
Just slapping each other.
See, you don't know how to commentate at actually. I see that crap all the time, and I'm like, nope, there's nothing to even speak about. It's boring solo lane.
Well, there you go. So with the Hunters, you can already see a nearly 100 gold lead on Medusa already over the Xbalanque, and that's going to really take effect. Because Xbalanque is never going to one-shot those waves, Medusa is, and then you have the Sylvanus as well. I'd expect maybe a 200, maybe even 300 gold swing in Medusa's favour before the lane phase is done.
They're fighting in the jungle here, both with speed buff as well, but Neith supporting nicely less Wibble. Actually going to connect on the backside. That's a low health Thor. And he's going to have that health potion ticking for the time being. Oh no, he's not even got a health potion left. He's really in trouble there. Going to have to base very soon.
Yeah, Nemesis knows what's up. He's expecting him to go for the small camp because he doesn't really want to bank there. I would have liked to see Nemesis maybe go for the back camps herself because they would have been safe.
Oh, right hand side, he's going to get those back RPs for himself and actually go back to base right now at 2 minutes 30. So he should be back for the mid harpies on the left hand side. As we can see, actually, Isurus Gaming rotating there from the duel in. Were they just trying to keep an eye and see if the back harpies were being taken then? Was that what that call was for?
I think so, yeah, because that's what I feel that's what should have happened. So an important thing to note for the mid camps coming up that both Sobek and Thor on Isurus Gaming do not have their hogs up. So Sobek rotating for solo, there's no secure there, and Thor for the jungle, no secure there. So they're very reliant on the Sylvanus here. I think they're probably going to aim for just one camp.
Well, Lurk in the War has been popped once again by Nozra on this Sobek. He did a great job earlier on. And he's doing it okay once again against Guan, who's playing this very, very passively. But Harpy's left ones did go to Isurus by the looks of it. Right one's going to go to INTZ as well. So gold relatively still even between these two teams. The stream's really choppy. Let me see if I can fix it, guys. I apologise if it's been choppy your end. It shouldn't be. Have a little look at that. Is that better? Let me know. We'll try and keep an eye on it and see if it works out.
So surprisingly, despite what I said, Xbalanque is actually, he's got the minor gold lead on Medusa. We're talking 10 gold, so it's nothing, but that's it's a small victory from a lane I would expect to get outfarmed quite heavily. Maybe a rotation to the mid camps has caused that. I'm not too sure.
It's a small thing. Well, Heartseeker has been built now by Bethany on this Neith in the mid lane. Medusa's still not been based, but she has just now got her Heartseeker online as well. Obviously, Xbalanque going to take a little bit more time to start getting those Devour Gauntlet stacks going for himself. So, going to have to play this one carefully for the time being and get some massive poke pressure. Do you think?
Yeah, he should be looking to the back soon, I think. Maybe after the switch.
Oh, he's back in now, I should say. I mean, do you think, like, as a team with double Heartseeker, you want to try and force an early Gold Fury against the Devour's Gauntlet's Hunter? Is that like something that you should be looking to do, or is it just
Yeah, I
based
think.
situationally?
I mean, Neith is going to get 6 stacks every wave because she one-shots it all. She's going to be... Her Spirit Arrow hits as hard as ultimates at this point in the game. So they should really be looking to get as much as they can before she falls off to relying on old stacks. I think now that Spirit Arrow is as strong as it is, they should really pressure this as much as they can while they can.
Well, the Devour's Gauntlets are now online, as you said, for QE3Q. Mid Harpy's going to be down for about another minute and a half's time here. Gold Fury is warded up by INTZ at the moment, and they're hanging around the area there. I don't think they're actually going to go for anything here. It's actually going to be seen Nan rotate through the jungle, and notice that red buff's going to be dropped down and split 3 ways by Isurus Gaming.
Yeah, they left the small camp up. Maybe a split of that. I know the waves are pushing, but you know, not getting on the timer can be. If you look at INTZ's jungle, their small camps are always on cooldown, and it's not the same for Isurus. So maybe an experience difference right there.
So I mean, the one thing you said after actually this game was, you said you favoured INTZ's composition, but Isurus Gaming's got double Hunter.
I know it's a bit of a contradiction, but I feel that they have a very team fight team, you know? Like, they have so many things that can chase down the hunters on INTZ, and...
But then they've got, like, Neith with the Spirit, they've got a lot of CC on Isurus Gaming, and Double Guardian too. I mean...
It's true, but it's all stacked up, and the Ice Assault is going to be the thing to watch for. I think the Ice Assault will lead to the fight being turned if Isurus tries to engage, and then we'll see Guan Yu and we'll see Nemesis and Xbalanque just go off and clean up.
By making comments like this, you're putting your casting career on the line already. Remember that. Remember that.
Bit risky. I feel confident though.
It's all in the ISIS ultimate. There'll be a Reddit post if you carry on. I promise you. We'll see. We'll see. Left Harpies have spawned, but it's actually going to be a call from Isurus Gaming to go for the Gold Fury here, as INTZ trying to do the right Harpies, but they know what's going on. But the Gold Fury has been bursted so hard by Isurus Gaming. What a great call from them. And they're trying to disengage now to make sure they can get out from this. They actually see the Wrath of Terror come out there as well by the Sylvanus, and Thor is just going to dunk into mid lane onto Guan, and they win that perfectly.
That was a quality call. They knew they have the double ADC.
Oh my god!
And they took it on, even on the horse.
Chill out!
Yeah.
That wombo
They've come to
combo!
play.
I'm sorry, I was really shocked by that. They really have come to play. They're putting the pressure once again onto INTZ. Like, they landed the root into the flip, into the pull, into the World Weaver. I was like, okay.
This is exactly what they need to do. They're abusing the power of Heartseeker and Hunters. They got that Godfrey down so quickly because they have 2 Hunters on it, and they're really pushing what they have, which is, it's awesome to see.
Yep.
And it's going to make the mid game much more exciting.
And they do manage to get that first blood as well, and it goes to Sylvanus, which isn't necessarily a terrible thing to have to get your support online, get his sovereignty stacking, and especially when you've already got the Gold Fury down, you can start working on the sovereignty a little bit quicker if you want to as well, and give yourself some extra tankiness. So INTZ up against it again. They're favorited by Ataraxia in terms of their composition, but it's Isurus Gaming that have drawn first blood and taken the early lead again.
Playing as they're playing, Isurus with the Hunters being as strong as they are, coming online as early as they are, if they keep this up to get one more go free, I think they'll have a very comfortable late game.
Well, we can see boots have been worked on and continuing to be sorted out as time goes on. Let's see exactly what's going to happen next between these two teams. As we tune in once again in the solo lane. I don't know what it is with production guys, but they love watching solo lane.
Yeah, it's not... I mean, I was expecting more of this, because the Guan Yu was the 5th pick, the final pick, and I know Sobek got the goal free, but I mean, look at this, it's... Well, I guess he saw the gank, but it doesn't feel like Guan Yu's having the presence that you would expect for the counter pick.
That's true. I mean, the other thing as well is what we've seen out of Isurus Gaming is I really like King Flamer, because every time Gold Fury is down, he's trying to abuse this solo lane where he's got the advantage now, because he doesn't have to be over in the duo side so much. So camping this side a little bit more. There's a big rotation from INTZ though coming towards left. They're not going to go for it though, as there's ward coverage down, and Isurus Gaming very, very aware of the rotations that are quite possible there. But I do like what Thor's doing. You know, King Flamer's done this last game, he's doing it again this game too.
Yeah, he really put the King Troll down peg last game, and it looks like he's doing the same thing this time. And I hear he's like someone said in chat that he's the game hunter equivalent for Latin America,
really?
so maybe this is why they're trying to make sure that he is not left unchecked.
Well, once again, INTZ trying to go aggressive in this duo lane, get a rotation out, but Isurus Gaming well aware, playing it safe. They've got a small lead for themselves so far. Will Weaver been shown to the right side? Maybe they're looking for Guan Yu here. Doesn't look like they're going to actually go for it right now. He's probably got spotted in the mid lane. Just going to hold on to that Will Weaver for the time being. But
Speed buff is open.
It's a good time to do it too, because Nan not in the area at the moment. They're looking for the left harpies more than anything else, it seems. All a potential gank on Sylvanus. Don't know if they're going to find it though, but we'll see the engagement potentially coming out here. Nope, Sylvanus is going to back away wisely, give up the left harpies, and INTZ are the ones coming out on top of that so far.
Yeah, it looks like they'll be in position to get this right camp and maybe even the blue in time. Or are they thinking better with the blue?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they can.
Well, they've still got time because still none, not over here. That's forced cavalry charge out already on the King of Trolls. And Nan trying to steal away the blue buff from his, purple buff from his supposed to the left-hand side, but Sylvanus being there has to back away. And Isurus Gaming are coming out on top in all these exchanges so far.
So when we head over to the solo lane, I've heard this a few times, is someone spamming a laugh or a taunt?
Potentially, yes.
I feel it's Thor or Guan Yu, one of them is, I heard that before. And
The banter.
Hmm.
Would you do that?
I mean, I'd like to. I like the idea of doing it to throw your opponent off, but then I feel really guilty about it, so I don't.
Ah, typical.
I feel
polite
too much of a
English,
nice
man.
guy. Maybe I should just, yeah, I don't know, do it. Be
So
more Omega-like.
More Omega. Well, 11 minutes in, we're about 2k advantage to Isurus Gaming right now. Assie's finished for Medusa in the mid lane. We can see the warrior tab has been popped up right side. Bit of aggression once again onto King Troll, who's having a bit of a rough time in this lane on this Guan Yu. Once again, Nozra seems very, very comfortable on this Sobek. He seems to understand he's gone pretty well here.
Yeah, he seems to be, I mean, both games already he's had a pretty big impact. He was crucial to the kill on Guan in the mid for the first blood, and he seems to be having his way once again, so I'm not sure why they picked the Guan Yu. Maybe they feel it's going to benefit them very well in the team fights, but for the lane, I guess that's not why.
Well, it's not working out so far. Goffrey been started by INTZ here. They're trying to bait this one out. They do have Devourer's Gauntlets on Xbalanque, which is a good thing for doing the Gold Fury. I mean, this is what we started to see less of now. The Hunters tanking it because of, like, Heartseeker's not as effective for sustain.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and he has got it pretty much fully stacked on 74 and now 75, so he would be quite efficient as that. As well as Xbalanque, he gets the extra damage as well, which does contribute to his lifesteal, so he could comfortably tank this, whereas Medusa, even with her RC,
Struggles.
she'd drop more health.
Yeah, they generally do. 12 minutes in. Harpies down for the time being. Just checking in with builds. Steve's obviously still being worked on by Sylvanus, as is Geb. We see an Iqbal finished for the Nemesis, played by Nan in the jungle right now. And alongside it, we can see once again, Boxtroll looks like he's working towards... I should know the name of this, I always forget it for some reason. Why can't I remember the name of it, Hindu? Good job. Great casting. He's building a magical defense item. There we go, boys and girls.
I
That'll
think you
do.
went Heartwood Amulet last.
There we go. Thank you.
I didn't want to save you straight away. I thought I'd give you a chance.
Damn
Let
you,
us down,
Ataraxia.
Hindu.
You're supposed to save your co-caster. That's it. Your trial's ruined. Once again, we're going to tune into solo lane any second. I expected that. I saw the cameraman thinking about showing us some more action of Sobek farming minions. As we can see, 3,000 experience there is the advantage, as well as just under a 3,000 gold lead as well for Isurus Gaming. This is kind of a similar situation to the last time round, really, isn't it, Ataraxia? I mean, last game went the same way.
I think the difference this time is INTZ aren't looking for the fights, which is probably better for them, perhaps, because that was the mistake they made in game one, as they took these fights and it allowed Isurus to get further ahead, and they seem more reserved this time. They realise their strength is going to be the mid game to late team fights, and I think they're biding their time for that.
Well, that's what you were saying earlier, is that you wanted them to go for an early composition. They've really not gone that route at all, especially with a Nemesis and the likes of Geb and, you know, Guan Yu. They're really looking for that mid-late game composition just to make sure the bleeding isn't too much. This is kind of something that you guys seem to do as well. Like, you just try to stem the bleeding and admit you're going to be down a little bit early on, but then come back in the mid-late game.
Yeah, it's a if you pick a comp like this, it's a necessary thing to realise that, okay, in a straight-up fight, they should win because they have the better gods for it. But once these guys get as 5 people, maybe even 4 people grouped up, they should be a force to be reckoned with.
Your COD Isis will be the one to watch. Aimless playing that in the mid lane right now. He's got She's on Magi finished and went straight into Breastplate of Valor as well. So gone extra tanky with this one. I can understand that because it was against, you know, 3 physicals, but 2 of them being hunters.
Yeah, I mean, that should pay dividends in the early game, where she's not going to be the... I think she is likely to be the focus, perhaps. But between her Ice Assault and her Breastplate, she should be able to survive and then turn the fight. That's their shining hope, I feel.
The Shining Hope onto Isis. Warlock Slash has been completed on Next, as you just saw it on the screen there. Currently at around 22 stacks. Pretty much the same build we saw out of him last time round as well. More than likely going to be that Mystical Mail potentially, or the Breastplate of Valor. We'll see where he heads with that one. Actually, it will be Mystical Mail rather than Breastplate. Ignore me. As once again the solo backwards and forwards continues. They'll just both sustain up. As the Gold Fury is under threat again.
Feels like they're just counter-warding, getting their dominant set up. Oh, they've started it as well. Maybe testing the response time.
Yeah. Is that what you do? You test the response time? It's like the police.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things, okay, we're in position and we could get this if they don't realise, and they don't have a sentry on it, so it's like, well, do they have a sentry on it? Do they have a ward on it? So it's kind of, you start it to get them away from their farm, to really, it's one of those power plays you can make if you're in the lead. So you can see if, get them away from their farm, check if their wards are there, stuff like, you know, reveal small amounts of information.
You're basically casing the joint, is what you do.
Pretty much, yeah. Casing the Gold Fury.
Case the Gold Fury, see what happens. This is why EU takes forever, boys and girls, because they all case it forever. And they're always scared about the Popo coming. In the end, the Gold Fury stands and everybody else dies. 1-0 in this one, though. It's quite a slow one for the most part. And I don't think it's slow because the teams are playing this badly. I think this is more like INTZ are playing it to their strength, really, and they're waiting for the mid-game, like we were saying.
Yeah, I feel both teams are they're in a position where they feel that if they wait till the late game, they'll win. Because one team has the double Hunter, obviously Hunter's been very strong in that now, it's something to be scared of. And the other team has the wombo combo team fight, which is hard to deal with, so I think that's probably why we see the passivity. They're happy to farm and just they'll wait.
Against the Isurus game and go for the Gold Fury again. Geb waiting in the wings here, probably with the blink initiation. Be ready for it. There's a Cataclysm. He's going to get double ulted. The Gold Fury still stands for now. Isurus Gaming do get it. And Geb is still alive, but it looks like INTZ might win the fight that breaks out afterwards. No, they won't. As Pipe goes down on Geb. Good wall from Thor does not save his life. Nan secures that one. But the Hunters are starting to wreck. And they're actually going to get himself a double kill. Seguez on this Medusa. They don't manage to find the Spirit Arrow onto the Xbalanque, but here comes Sobek. Not going to find it, though. It's a 3-for-1 trade for Isurus Gaming. And Buckshaw's in trouble, too.
It's a difficult position to be in once again. Sobek looks like he's going to chase down this kill, maybe pick it up with the creeping kiss.
There we go.
That's a kill right there.
So, talk us through exactly what went wrong in that fight for INTZ. Because at first I thought they were going to win that engagement off the engagement from Geb, and the Gold Fury did go to Isurus, but what happened after that?
It felt like they were very spread out. They need to be together and really utilize the circles that they have. That's pretty much their strength. And they weren't together. They came in from two different angles at different times, so I feel they could have used the Levido was a fantastic Geb ult, as it is when they group up on the Gold Fury, but we didn't see them really capitalize on it as much as they possibly could. So,
Isurus Gaming once again have the lead in this game. Let's hope they don't make the mistake they did last time, which was control the game pretty much throughout and then just make one small mistake on attacking the Phoenix and cost them the whole game, because INTZ just pretty much pushed down mid and won it based off that. They've got a good lead of about 5,000 experience, 5,000 gold right now. And INTZ definitely not out of it, though.
No, I mean, last game should be evidence enough that they can play from behind with whatever that goalie 10k was, maybe more. Although it is worth pointing out that Isurus did have trouble with the Phoenix taking that down, but at the same time, now they have two Hunters.
I was going to say they do have two Hunters this time, so it shouldn't be as difficult, especially when you've got a Sylvanus and a Sobek to tank it up for him. So.
Yeah, really, they should just be able to run in those two and then the Hunters kill it and then they back out, and that should be Phoenix down. Well, but we'll see if it gets to that point.
Well, this is a big rotation, so mid lane Petrified does not connect, neither does the pull onto Aimless there and Isis. So, ultimate wasted by Seguez there. They don't have to commit for anything else, really. There's a lot of pings on that right-hand tier 1 tower, though. So, Isurus Gaming really just trying to get as much for gold of an experience for free on the map as they can.
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, and they're making a play on this Guan.
Well, they forced out his ultimate, and that's all she wrote for it. There's a World Weaver in response, so not the worst case, but big rotation coming up from Sylvanus coming over here too. They really want this tier 1 tower. Is it wise to commit so much at this stage of the game to one tower on the right hand side here, or?
I think so. They're not really giving up anything for this. They have their left buff spawning soon, but it's unlikely they can steal those. The tower's low, and Guan Yu can't match the push. So they're not losing goal free, they're not losing mid camps, and they're not losing their jungle. So they're not, you know, it's a pretty solid strategy to do. They're absorbing all the farm, and they get a tower, so it's a win across the board.
Well, now they're going to rotate mid lane and support the Neith as well. We did actually see Seguez on that Medusa as well, offered to rotate mid if required as well. So we'll see exactly where we're going to see Isurus Gaming go to next. The Golf Fury is going to spawn in about another minute and a half's time, so we've got a bit of patience time between then. And about between level 17 and 19, pretty much most people in this game on the side of Isurus Gaming.
So one important thing to note is that Medusa now has her Executioner online. And what that means is this is the sweet spot where the Hunter can solo the Fire Giant. Especially being level 19, that's only going to help. And then having a Neith on top of that, it would be a very quick Fire Giant to do. And they don't have the best aggressive comp, so defending a Fire Giant is going to be difficult for them. So maybe that's where they should be looking to play in.
Of this Golf Fury, we saw Geb go in. Thor hesitates in the air a long time here, which ended up working out. I think that's where the engagement changed, really. Actually, we said like his team didn't really group, but I think that Thor dunk made the impact, but not well enough. His land did bring down one, but Medusa, Neith, wrecking too much havoc on the backside of it.
Yeah, I think you're right. They took so long to group up. I think that's why he was waiting. He's waiting for them all to get in there and finally start grouping up, and then he dunked. I think that was a three-man dunk, perhaps.
Yeah, it looked like
and it really changed the outcome because, as you said, it looks like they're going to do a lot of work off that Gebalt, and then in comes Thor, and suddenly not so hot.
Yeah, I mean, he did pay with his life there, but King Flame on this Thor doing what he needs to do to give his team the opportunity to continue this. Charge break comes out, not going to connect with that Geb though. As once again, we're just back to farm as the Golf Fury's due up in now, as I say that, as he's starting to fly its way through the air. Nozwa's going to rotate over to the Fire Giant, probably throw down a ward and clear up some farm over in that solo lane. As the rest of his team starting to siege up once again at the Golf Fury.
We should expect this to be quite free because the Geb and the Xbalanque are down there. They're big defensive ones that they need, and 2 ADCs. This is
they're going to
going down very quickly.
They are going to reset though. They're not going to continue the aggression. They chose the better side of Valor. Bit of focus onto Guan Yu there. Only knock him to half health, and now the engagement comes out from Nam. They're not going to find Medusa though, because the lacerate comes out to save him, but the blink cataclysm does. But there's no follow-up from the team at the moment as the petrify comes out too. Guan is there, Pony online. Thor on the backside was trying to go into Nam, doesn't find anything, and Guan Yu was the one that got in trouble because his team backed out, and he didn't actually manage to find anything. And now these ultimates being used, this might be the free one.
Yeah, I mean, they have Sylvanus and they have 2 ADCs who can sustain themselves, and they are the ones who took damage, so suddenly we have Isurus looking, you know, very strong. They're all very high in HP. On the other side, INTZ have to retreat and give it up because they don't have the sustain to match.
So Golf Fury once again goes to Isurus Gaming 4-1. Goal lead stretches a little bit further back to what we saw in the previous game, just under 9,000 right now in favour of Isurus Gaming. 4-1. Most of the kills going to the Hunters. Obviously Sylvanus did get that first blood, which helped him out quite a lot. But generally, it's been all the Hunters that have been, you know, doing what they need to do.
Yeah, it looks like it. I think we should keep an eye on QE for the comeback for INTZ if they're going to pull it off again, because he's hitting his executioner soon, which means he can take out pretty much everyone on the team. And he is the seasoned Hunter player on the team, so I think if we're looking for a comeback, it's going to be him playing off his team CC.
Well, let's see if he can actually do that, because at the moment Q has lost his tower in the solo lane, as has the rest of his team in every single lane at the moment. All towers still standing for Isurus Gaming here, as they just continue to farm up, working on that execution at his QE3Q, as once again we can shoot him with Nan, who's got that Frostbound Hammer online now. We're starting to see more Frostbound Hammers coming into play now. It's people are starting to realise the attack speed D's buff is very effective.
Yeah, it was the recent change to it where they buffed the health pool on it to 400, which is very substantial for quite a cheap item, and then the attack speed slow as well. So it's proven it's a very versatile hybrid item which you can pick up, and it can augment your aggressive plays and your defensive plays.
Blink Cataclysm in mid lane, big play going out. Thor's actually going to get forced to the sky. They used a lot on him. Bellany in the mid lane, sorry, he's going to be fine for the time being. So Bettany, I should say. But they did the Fire Giant while all that was going on. 3-man Fire Giant by Sobek, Medusa, and Sylvanus. And you were actually just saying there as well, actually, that was viable for them to do that when Medusa got this build.
Yeah, it looks like Thor just bamboozled them, really. He say, look over here, while his team was doing the Fire Giant, and they've got it, you know, they have that. The ADC who can solo it, she's getting a crit online, so now it's easy, it's not even a risk.
Would you say that Thor made them look like Mercury? Yeah, he did a Mercury impression.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I thought it was funny. But let's have a look at the Fire Giant. I'm going to show us a replay of that and exactly what happened. Not the greatest tank in the world there by Sylvanus, but that's okay because they still do. Oh, they're standing in the pool. Sylvanus, get out of the pool! And they're going to get knocked up too. But guys, please, that was the worst Fire Giant tank ever. That was almost as bad as Trick's tank. The last time I saw him do it. But they do get the Fire Giant, and they've got a substantial lead. Can they start putting the pressure on and not make the mistake they did in Game 1?
Well, this is all they need to do now is really be careful and play to their strengths. They have the Fire Giant buff, so their objectives will go down really, really quickly with 2 ADCs and the towers. So they should melt in seconds. So what I'd like to see is for Sobek, Thor, and Sylvanus to be applying pressure, but not overcommitting. They just want to scare them away so the Hunters can bring down the objectives and just rinse, repeat that until they have no Phoenixes left.
Chunk, chunk, chunk. Tier 2 tower goes down in mid lane very quickly. Sobek pushing up right side is Nozwer there. His team is going to swing around there and support the Hunters on their merry, merry way, and it looks like INTZ going to give up that tower as well, which... Is this what you want to do? Just give up the towers to defend Phoenixes once more? Rinse, repeat what they did last game?
Yeah, it's very difficult in this position. You've got to go for that all-in, kill them all type thing. You've got to win this trade because 2 ADCs, you draw the fight out, you're going to lose. So I think they need to wait for them to all group up. And they didn't group up on that tier 2, so they didn't have the opportunity to engage. Maybe on this left Phoenix is what we're going to see.
Nozwer was actually hanging around the corner with the charge braid looking for a pluck. Does actually find it onto Nemesis, but she dashes away immediately. The tier 2 tower slowly being chipped down at the moment by Medusa. And now Neith joins in as well, 300 gold to each of those members of the team. 4-1 is the scoreline. Not high in kills, but I really like the way Isurus Gaming is playing this one out so far. They've been the best people on the map, honestly, like in terms of rotations and everything so far.
Yeah, absolutely. They've been given an inch and they've taken a mile. They're playing it very safe, but that's okay because of their comp. You know, they don't need to have these balls to the wall aggression plays to actually win the game. They can do it piece by piece. So I like that they're doing this.
Well, the underdogs have the advantage again. Cavalry charge comes out from Guan, and he gets evaporated. The shield from Geb saves the day. Not long enough as King Flamer does bring down Thor. He's now in the sky. Who's he going to dunk on is the question. Sobek finds one. The backside, the spin to win comes out, forcing QE3Q away. But the Will Weaver double tap combo combines to bring him down too. And it looks like Isurus Gaming this time round will not make the mistakes of Game 1. They will come back into this one. The underdogs, Isurus Gaming, are looking to end this one and bring themselves to a 1-1, making this a great final.
Yeah, I think what we're seeing is that Isurus Gaming, they're getting their confidence. Their landers have relaxed and they're ready for the finals. And you can see the calmness in their play, and it's refreshing to see, honestly.
I've got to say that Isurus Gaming, you can see them there. Like, they didn't even have bodies there. They were so involved in the game. They were just chairs, doing great work for themselves. That did the boys of Isurus Gaming. They've forced this to a best of 3 now. And now that's going to force, but we're going to have to see what INTZ is going to come back with. Because let's be honest, Satuexia, INTZ have been on the back foot every single game. Both games so far.
They have. It seems they're relying on their experience as a team to really win the late game team fights. But if Isurus play like that again, that's not a gambit I'd go for. I would like to see INTZ pull out an early game. Because it seems like Isurus are very good at taking those cheeky goal frees. And INTZ cannot, after seeing that game, they cannot let them do that again. Because they'll take an inch and then suddenly the game's over. Yeah,
they're doing a good job at Isurus Gaming right now. Put the pressure onto INTZ. Maybe INTZ can come back with something special for this final game. Because if not, if Isurus get that same sort of play going again, it's going to be a little bit rough. As we can see, Latin American Bart and Latin American Bart having a conversation there on stream about how this all went down. And we'll find out how long the break is going to be for the next game. Probably be a little while, guys. Probably 20 minutes again for the next break. We like to make sure the players get good, well-rested time, a little bit of a nap in between the games, just to freshen themselves up. One thing to note, though, Atuexia, I'm really impressed with how Isurus Gaming came back after that long break, you know, and they cleared their heads. They didn't go in still remembering what happened in Game 1.
Exactly. They didn't seem too jumpy. They seemed very calm, and that's. I mean, I'm not sure I'd be the same in that situation. So that's a big kudos to them.
I mean, they're a new team as well, so it's not an established, easy thing to do to like have to like come back from a loss like that. I mean, we saw Cloud9 EU when that whole game happened with you guys. The next game wasn't as strong. They'd like lost their heads a little bit, and like having to wait 30 minutes or so between games is what they do over in the Brazil Smite Masters, and that amount of time you can kind of play with your head quite a lot.
I guess maybe they focused on the strengths that they did win the majority of the game until it came to the Phoenixes, and it seems like they picked a draft that could augment that or make up for that weakness, and it clearly did them justice.
Guys, there will be no translation on this stream. It's just going to be an English cast. Me and Ataraxia are both from England. We're both very, well, he's technically Welsh, but still. We're both very, very lazy on learning other languages, so it will just be us commentating. There will be no translating, unfortunately, over on this channel. Apologies for that one. As they're actually currently discussing how that game went out between the two teams now. So, let's talk about Game 3 quickly. We're going to have a little bit of time after exit. Game 3, what do you look to do as INTZ? What is the plan? Early game comp?
I think early game. They need to really get more wards around the goal free. They can't let them have that dominance and get those free goal frees that they've gotten in the first two games. They need to have more of a showing for it. So I think that's their weak point at the moment. It's been the thing that let Isurus into the game, and I think they need to stop that.
Do you reckon it's to do with? Do you reckon it's more to do with the Xbalanque?
Yeah, I mean they don't get any pressure with that lane. They're just living at a tower. They don't have any kill pressure either, so they can't really move up. And then you add in a Nemesis jungle. She's not the greatest on her own. She needs someone else to secure the kills. Mm-hmm. I'd have liked to see Nemesis maybe paired with the Poseidon, because those two roaming around, you find someone, they're dead. Yeah. And that would give them the pressure to really exploit the goal free, but they didn't have that. And that kind of, they're scared going into the jungle, which allows the goal free to get taken like that.
Well, what is the plan going to be? We'll find out. I mean, it's a good call for you from your point of view. What you're suggesting there is go for the early game, get themselves an opportunity and see how they do. As we can see, the guys, the analysts, clearly going over that game and giving a good showing of how Isurus did in that game. Guys, we're going to take a small break as we're waiting for this next game to start. I'll still be around keeping down the stream with you guys, but it's going to be a few minutes for the next game to begin. I'm just going to leave you with some sultry music, and if we see APC on screen, we'll probably come back and say hello to APC. We'll be back in a little while as we wait for the next game to begin. Oh, hold on a second. We've got a bit of APC action. Got a bit of APC action. We need to listen to what APC's got to say again. And that manly suit of his.
Smokes' evil brother looks like a basketball player. Not a very tall basketball player, but one nonetheless.
See, the reason he reminds me so much, that's King Flamer by the way, but like him and Moex both look like absolute murderers. But then when they smile, they look really cute and sweet, like, oh, they're really nice guys, cool. I'm going to make him and Moex make a team. Needs to happen.
That would be pretty amazing.
We need a team of the most evil looking players.
So we got Moex, King Flamer, Zeros.
And Zeros, yeah, that's a good call. Good shout on Zeros. What else are we going to do, guys? Yeah, it's a little bit laggy. Apologies for that. I'm trying to fix it now. Yeah, should be a little bit better now, guys. Apologies for that. With a little bit like that. So we put... Yeah, who else do we get then? So we've got mid laner, we've got hunter, we've got jungler. We need a support, and we need a solo laner. Who are the most evil solo laners and supports, guys? Let's work it out. Can we from around the world as well?
One question for Bitoni.
One question, man. I have many questions, but I think this is a question.
Zaylee looks like Loki, so
No,
it's not quite the same.
It's not the same.
Serial killer vibe, but
Devios. Oh, Devios is a good shout, just because he's like baby. He's like babyface killer. Babyface killer. No, that doesn't work, guys.
No, I think we got good draft the two matches. I think it wasn't the draft. I think it was.
I think Anatoly would be good if he didn't smile so much, but he always smiles, so it doesn't have the same image.
Yeah, he can't do that.
He's too cuddly.
Jeff Hindler does look like Mounted Man sometimes. Like that could be quite. No, Lobster's a mid laner. You can't have him. Don't worry. We need a support. We need a solo lane. Is what we're looking for.
And I think that that was the reason. We learned the first 2 matches we lost against them. This is a constant
Oh, the lag.
training for us because we are
This is really polite from
this and we are improving in
Isurus, like,
the tournament.
they're very-
We're not used to play against so good teams. So
They're very polite.
was the-
I don't
Yeah.
like it. Where's the BM? Where's the banter?
You know, we're the new kids on the block. We're gonna school you all.
We should actually mute them and just cast over them and like
This
make them
experience,
sound
like I
really
was saying,
BM.
it was experience
It's more
versus
fun.
hype. But you got all the experience from the last 2 games. You learned from it, and you took the games. Even though each single game you got.
God,
+1.
APC looks good.
That's huge in every game.
Look at him.
Então, a
Manly
pergunta
man.
foi assim, como
His
vocês
earpiece
conseguiram
still not
melhorar
fitting now.
essa partida
No,
pra
it
outra?
doesn't.
E
It doesn't.
o que eles
I don't think he
falaram
really
é,
needs
a
it.
gente
Though.
aprendeu muito, a gente aprendeu muito na primeira partida, aprendeu muito na segunda partida. Então, era isso que eles esperavam mesmo. Então, pra eles que ele estava falando, foi como se fosse um treino. Conhecer a INTZ. E agora que eles conhecem, eles acham que agora eles têm controle total sobre a partida.
The standing at the moment
Vamos ver
is
aí o que os nossos
1-1,
analistas
guys.
têm a dizer sobre isso. Vamos lá.
As they're still discussing things there to go back. So I'll just show the bracket quickly on your screen here. You can see how this actually played out. There was 4 teams from Brazil, and there was 2 teams that turned up from Latin America. And you can actually see it's Isurus versus INTZ, so the 2 teams left. So 1 from Latin America, 1 from Brazil. And the Latin American team are the underdogs in Isurus Gaming. Everyone expected INTZ to control this one, but at the moment they're kind of struggling up against Isurus, who are made it a 1-1 game. Could have been 2-0 actually.
Yeah, I mean that first game was very much in their favour. I'm surprised actually because every time I hear of the Latin American scene, it's always INTZ, you know, QE and the boys. They're very dominant, and that was the first game they've actually lost in the tournament so far. Fun fact.
Oh wow, interesting to see these 2 teams playing out. The analyst gonna go on it again for a little while. Oh, bit of a screen freeze there, please. Ops, please.
But I think this game 3, if
There we go.
Finns adapt to what they've seen, then I think we're in for a very close game.
A very close game indeed. Little bit of lag on the stream. I apologise for this, guys. I'm trying to fix it for you as quick as I can. I'm not sure what the issue was there. They turn the sound down on us once again. So we've got to pause, guys. They've done an interview with the players. The players will be getting themselves set up. We're going to cut to some music. Leave this playing for you in the background as we wait patiently for Game 3 between Isurus Gaming and the boys of INTZ.